Dear colleagues, dear students, welcome to our poetry event. Today we are hosting David Mellor, who is a British poet. In fact, in my opinion, his poems are quite revolutionary, especially in terms of the revelation of the real life in the UK. And in my opinion, again, he can be classified as the poet of the working class. Before inviting him to the stage, let me give some fundamental information regarding his autobiography. He was born in Liverpool in the UK, and he couldn't find his voice until his youth. He was nobody for many years and treated as such. He was even a homeless person for a short period of time. However, he hit the papering over the skies, and he found understanding and belief through words. He has been published and performed from the BBC, the Tate, galleries and pubs, and everything in between. He now resides in Turkey and continues his career with his work appearing in journals, including a weekly column in the Canakkale Gündem about his observations of Turkish life. His poems and writings are mostly autobiographical, and there are some other poems and writings which are topical, and so on. You can search for him on YouTube by using the keyword Mellor Dr. He also has a book which is entitled So This Is It. It is a selection of poetry, and it was published recently and available on all platforms. So, please, the stage is yours.
Hello everybody. Merhaba. That's just one word. I mean, come on. My name is David R. Mellor, so hoş geldin. I'm not going to get crap for every word in Turkish I say. Ekmek. Okay, glass is steaming up. Brilliant. Give me a second. Sorry about this. So, as you can see, that was from William Blake, and basically it's all about Britain's great future it's going to have. It's green and it's pleasant land, and how mighty that we are going to become in the world. And then you have a Tory government that turns this glorious vision into this. Not that. We're not going back to Jerusalem, my friends.
No, I'm sorry about this. This is a bit different than mine. I am extremely sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm...
You're going to get Jerusalem and how great Britain is over and over again now, unfortunately. Okay, so there you go. 1 in 4 children live in poverty in Britain. Fifth largest nation in the world. And it can't feed its own... I was going to swear. I've been told I can swear, so I just will later on. It's okay. There'll be lots of swear words later on. So, and then we've got that. And then what you won't see on your brochures is maybe British Airlines will say, would you like to visit here? Okay, that's a pretty, that looks a little bit like where I used to live. And then maybe you might get a little posh hotel in London, walk down the street, and this is the next. Hallelujah. England's green and unpleasant land. So I wrote this poem just walking down my street. Let's get the right sunlight there, a second. God, you two don't have this problem. That's a tanning studio, that's a hairdresser's, that's a tanning studio, empty shop, empty shop, empty shop. That's a smoke-free Wetherspoons, that's a closed pub, that's a closed pub, that's a closed pub, that's a couple strapped for cash, that's a gyro next door, that wouldn't last, that's a fake tan, that's a discarded chip paper, and that's another fake tan. That's just the street that's come to its end. Thank you. Okay, I'm trying to follow the light round here. So basically, I don't know if you have streets like that here now in Turkey, which have been totally destroyed, whole communities. And then we've had the Tories for so long with austerity. My friends end up getting on the dole or becoming fucking insane or alcoholics, while they run round as if they are the B's and E's. And then we get this fucking man. Oh God. Can I cover him up? Can I cover him up? I don't know how this man has got Turkish descent. Okay? If he had Turkish descent, he'd be a decent human being. He got rid of what Parliament does. He lied about everything. He was turning into a mini little fascist, attacking the state apparatus one by one. You're a bastard. I've always wanted to say that to his face. Okay? But it's not really him, it's a picture, in case you're wondering. Okay, so he's finally left the asylum. I'm trying to follow that right round. Okay. I'll have to go this way. Wait, go that way. Okay. After holding the country in a straitjacket of deceit and despicable behaviour, the lunatic has left the asylum. After trashing the country, smashing up democracy, popping corks while people died, the lunatic has left the asylum. But the rats will be back again, sliding from the back door like Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak and all them sort of people. Thank you. So, do you know what he was doing when people were dying? He was holding parties, alcohol parties, and he got fined for it. And yeah, you can't argue with me, can you? Fuck off. Right, so basically, he didn't want to have the first lockdown, so 20,000 died. And then, when asked, maybe you should have the lockdown, he said, let the bodies pile high. And these bodies are people. I'll get a bit closer to you, don't worry, I won't fall over. Okay, so, basically, these numbers are actual people. So, this is the daily count of lives. This goes out to everybody in the whole world, really, if someone died of COVID. We used to get these numbers every day, didn't we? 746. 6 fell in love more than 4 times. 673. 20 had no regrets. 714. 5 could still feel their first kiss. 27 looked at a photo of their loved one each and every morning. 547. 7. They had a contagious laughter. 517. 100 regretted that their beauty had faded. 35 had worked in the same job all of their lives. 375. 75 had died of a broken heart. 817 had touched 1 million souls. These people had touched 1 million souls. They're not just a number. All had been loved by someone, because behind every number there's a human life. Thank you. Numbers, eh? So, basically, what happened then in our little COVID paradise, one of the highest death rates in the world, by the way, is we had ill people, ill elderly people, in hospitals, and we wanted to get them out. So we put them in care homes, and they had COVID. And him and his health minister estimated he killed 48,000 people like her. Those people who were in care homes couldn't have any contact with anybody. So, this mortal life, this is for her and any old people, died anywhere. This mortal life seems thinner now. As we move away from sick and old relatives, we keep a safe distance. See everyone as a potential disease. This mortal life seems thinner now. And in a darkened room, all alone, she sits, tapping her fingers, hoping the bell will ring and someone will call. This mortal life seems thinner now, passing away, all alone. God bless. Thank you. I have no problem with the lights or something. Is that better for this here? Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell I'm not Bono, you know, so. Okay, so basically, the Tories are still there, and they've still carried on, and basically we've come to this. Yep. Good old Britain, eh? Do you know we have food banks in Britain? Who knows that? It's a quiz, you win a prize. Oh yeah, well you're a lecturer. You know, that's a bit... So, we have places where people go to get free food. These are working people. And there's more food banks in Britain than McDonald's. And this winter, rip hip hooray! We're going to have warm banks. Because people can't pay the electricity bill, so they can go to a little Victorian huddle with Oliver Twist and Dickensian shit to keep warm. And people are living in fear. We live in fear of putting the electricity on. We live in fear of the next bill to come. We freeze in desperation as the gas dies down. We live in fear of people in dinghy boats, though we know none of them. They make us fear the bus we can't afford to catch, the train we can't afford to get in, the pub we can't even afford to have a drink. Whilst they, Mr. Sunak, unpacks his fresh Harrods shoes, checks the stocks they never lose, is designed to make them win anyway, as you try to remember the last time you could afford to put the kettle on. Thank you. Okay, so that's the end of me. Not really the end of me, hopefully not. That's the end of me talking about how bad things are in England's unpleasant land. And now, let's come to somebody I think he's quite pleasant. That's me. I can't believe you're clapping because it's just a picture of me. So, he was, does this come away easily?
Maybe harder? Yeah.
So this is me basically, we're about 13 years of age, and I used to enjoy my days, especially in the summer days, but sometimes coming home was not always what it should have been. Under the sun, I was a good boy. Under the sun, I was a good boy. I never did wrong. The trees were very giving as I climbed the highest branch. Until the sun, I was a good boy who never did wrong. The light would stay till I was too tired to kick a ball. But at home, I was a bad boy who always did wrong. The dark spelt foreboding, trembling till the night faded away. I will try to cheer you up sometime during this session, but thank you for that poem. But we now come to basically that inside that boy was a fear. You know, men can be men, and fathers can be fathers, and bastards can be bastards. And what happens is, when fear is put inside of a child, they carry it through into adulthood. So, be careful what you say to them. I am my own worst enemy, perfectly made by you, seasoned with temper, peppered with self-loathing, and a dash of despondency, and there I go. I am my own worst enemy, created by you. Thank you. Okay, I wonder if you've ever had this experience of when you think you see somebody. Because my dad was pretty good sometimes. He took me to Liverpool. So who here supports Liverpool? Galatasaray? Fenerbahce? Galatasaray. I thought you were a football nation. My God. Okay, so we had some good times, and then one day I thought I saw him. He wasn't him. He wasn't my father. He wasn't my dad, but I thought he was. Hunched up at the bar, cracking jokes, stealing the show. I felt like tapping him on the shoulder and telling him, I need to tell you so much. But the words lay as flat as the beer I had just bought, and the last words that we had never spoken built up in the ashtray and gulped by the beers, and the distant murmurs of cars whispered goodbye. Sweet forgiveness, sweet forgetting, goodbye. Okay, so I got older, I got over my youth and became your regularly disturbed teenager, and you want to heal all that by getting into a loving relationship, getting married and having children, and then one day something is dropped on you. This is a true story. I was living in Germany then. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. Snowdrift. I had 2 small children, by the way. I can still feel the freezing cold air on my cheeks, an air long since gone, like the people I used to greet on the streets. And you were so small, I could fix you on the back of my bike, sitting under the slide, so the rain wouldn't bite. I can still feel the freezing cold air. And I, worn out by life's daily chores, pulling the sledge to school, carrying the groceries that could feed a school. All done with love, of course. Then one day, on returning, you told me where you'd been. I can still feel the freezing cold air, my lips that didn't move, and the ice gripping my heart. Thank you. So all of a sudden, you have a family and you're on your own. It takes a while to get used to things on your own, but things get a little bit different. Okay, so you have to make changes alone. I used to buy toilet paper for 4, now it's just for 1. So I get the 2-pack, the half loaf, the small pack of Marge, open the door of my 1-bedroom flat, make a cup of tea for 1, listen to songs by people missing someone. Make my single bed, turn round to see no one wake up, kiss no one goodbye, shed tears that no one will see, and come back at night and climb the stone stairs, open the door, turn on the light and imagine you are there. Thank you. Okay, but you start to get, I'm better with this, sorry. You start to get used to it You know what I mean? You can't be miserable all your life. Even me as an expert in that field. And then you start to date. Yeah, I can see the laughter here already. And the question's going to be aimed at you. You have to answer this one. No, you're not going to answer it. You don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, never mind. I don't know anything about you, so fair enough. So, you go on to internet dating. Do people still do that? TikTok, chopsticks, whatever it is. So, if anybody says yes now, I will give them, and I will give them Buckingham Palace. Okay? Has anybody here done internet dating? There's one person there. You have got the keys, and you can now go there. It's very difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. And I like to pretend to be quite sensitive. But as you can see, there would always be a bit of alcohol there, you know, just to pass the time. And then I'd be pissed, basically. And this is true. I'm hanging around on a dating estate. The keyboards are covered in tobacco and crisps. They're sticky with beer. I'm telling someone, I like to climb mountains. I'm calm, sensitive, in control, and I'm solving. But I'm typing words I can't say. I'm divorced. I've got kids. I like betting, drinking, smoking, and doing most things that stop me from feeling. My kids are miles away, and I'm up in the air. Is anybody still there? Thank you. Anybody have the same experience? Okay, never mind. Okay, so I start to look back on my time in my life. You do that when, you know, I'm approaching, you know, I'll be 60 in a couple of years. Me, 60? I was going to be James Dean or Marilyn Monroe, a tragic life and people will mourn after me. 60? You're not cut down in your fucking prime, are you? Nearly 60. So I look back. Wasted a lot of time on people that weren't worth the time of day. I didn't realise how bad life could be until I realised I was me, naked in front of the mirror, bulges all over my body where there shouldn't be. Time wasted, time wasted, time wasted me. I didn't realise how quickly the clock of time could cover me, leave me breathless, and not how it should be. Like when I was a kid, me and Carl up a tree, making marble figures before tree. Time wasted, time wasted, time wasted me. And you, my father and mother, feckless and insecure, you gave me the backbone of a cripple, always to spend my life at the bottom of the sea for sure. Time wasted, time wasted, time wasted me. Thank you. Okay, so there are quite some other things. There are quite some other things to do with time. One of the main things for me is work. I mean, I didn't mind my job, but if you can just don't go to fucking work, don't have a boss, if you've got any talent at all, you know, don't become a slave to them. And especially, the worst thing about a job is you've got to get up in the morning. You know? I just can't get up in the morning. Okay, so this is all very true as well. I wake up coffee stained. I reach out for the first cig, the first cup, the first pair of clean clothes, no time for toast. The most I can hope for is that I make it through the door. I wake up coffee stained, blurry-eyed. Is it Monday or Thursday or June or July? Is it my father's birthday? No, it can't be because he died. I stumble for the train, then realise I should be on the bus. As this is going to the place I should have been at yesterday, let me get out of bed as I must. Be coffee-stained, blurry-eyed, no use to man and ornament. I've officially decided that this day has died. Thank you. I think I'll take a bit of a rest now with these old legs. Give me a second. Everything okay so far?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I always like try to remember those times when you're growing up, and maybe even now. You know, when you first meet somebody, and then you eventually get over the parting. But this is about something real and unreal. Those moments where you won't see somebody again. So, I imagined this guy. I think it's Colorado or something. He's just waiting for a bus. Okay, so I'm waiting for a bus to drive me home so that I can cry alone. One leaving behind a beautiful face, one that I trace now on the back of this leather seat. Knowing that there is nothing that can bring you back, just waiting for the bus to drive me home. So I won't be alone with the thoughts that we're through. The ticket collector stares at me with watery eyes, counting out the pennies, and I'm feeling rather lost. Without your hand, your smile, your ways, your touch. Nothing in life felt too much. The collector asks, "That'll be £3.75, please." Thank you. So, when we get to the end of relationships, there's always somebody might say something, and someone might say, "Oh, it's not you, it's me." What does that mean? And then I like people. First of all, I like the people of Turkey. You're very kind to me, and Canakkale is a very good place. It's more European than Europe, more safer for women than Europe ever would be or is. But where am I going with this? Okay, so sometimes you get people who they're very close to you, and they're just saying rubbish about you, and all this is coming at you. Okay? Just be yourself. You don't need anybody. So, I wish there was a way to stop the vile words coming out of people's mouths. A filter to stop the hurtful words before they even come out. But no, they flow like an open sewer all over me, swimming in condemnation, emptying and then filling themselves up till I'm left in no doubt. Listen, you really, really don't know me, okay? Thank you. So, I'm originally from Liverpool, and I now live in Turkey, and it's really nice being in Turkey. I sometimes get on the bus. They have a walking stick sometimes, but the generosity of Turkish people will be, they say, "Sit down, he's a foreigner." Now, I'm very sorry to say, in Britain, you might get spat at if you're a foreigner. Okay? So, there's a big difference here. This is a hospitable place. Okay, where am I going with this? Yeah. Am I saying this right? Because I only know the English word. Mevlana, Rumi? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I studied reading Turkish literature. Mainly Rumi, but also Madonna and the Fur Coat. The film stars you have, the musicians. But he stuck with me. And he sort of made me think about writing things in a different way. So maybe he got inside me. So this is now seamless 1 and 2. I let the thoughts back in. Like a wave sweeping under my door, I reached for the bottle, but didn't stop them anymore. They had brought reinforcements for a dark and distant past, marriages that had crumbled and a parent's love that didn't last. I let the thoughts back in, because I was too weak to know that I was somebody, even though you told me I wasn't. So the second one, I had the idea of what if you could divorce yourself? I don't know. Don't know where that would lead to, but okay. I'm not sure when I started divorce proceedings against myself, told him to get out, we're through, of all of your false promises and lies, your ability to crush a butterfly and complain it bit your hand. I'm not sure that I can stay with you till the bitter end. I suppose I could take us down a pinch or two and just try to be friends. Thank you. So I was influenced by all this, and basically I, a couple of years ago, the same sort of thought pattern, I washed up here. That's marvellous, and I had a terrible job. I mean, working in England, you have to be a slave. You would get an email on New Year's Eve at 10 to midnight asking you to do a report. People have 2 jobs. And people are bullied and bullied, and I was a nervous wreck. And then, on a positive note, it's a healing aspect of nature and a healing aspect of Turkey, because your land is ancient. You know, sometimes you feel as if you're walking in the presence of gods. And we are, if you think about Troy, if you think about it. I have nothing to regret now. The moon knows my name, and even the trees are more welcoming here. I have nothing to leave now. The jagged edges of the shore show me that each life can be split in 2. One moment you're together, then all of a sudden you're just a pebble on the shore. I have nothing of myself now, and that feels so much better than before. Thank you. And the second one was at the same time, you know, when you reconnect with something, it just comes all of a sudden, doesn't it? You don't expect it. And this was on this boat here. This is the boat over Marmaris. And just hold me here. When the choppy waters get rough, when those that lay in wait to rip me up, just hold me here. In the clear blue sea, the jagged shore, it's protecting me. The boat's rocking me into blissful calm. Just hold me here and don't ever let me go. Thank you. And then I used to live in Ivolick. Everyone know Ivolick? Yeah, I got it all right. Very nice, but you don't have any gas. So I used to have to, I got to go into the woods and find cones. I didn't know why everyone was obsessed with cones. But you get them because they keep the fire going. So this is Ivolick, snow, would you believe it? So And this come into my head, which is basically me tuning into myself again, in every moment. I am stuck in every moment I have lived or not lived enough. Each drags me back to sort out what I forgot, to settle the scores, to paper over those cracks. I'm stuck in every moment I failed to live. I was, but just not good enough. Thank you. I could have sat down there all day, but okay, so I now come to have a look at the world, and all across the world you will see boys like this, or girls, whether it's the Middle East, there's children looking up to see where a bomb will fall, and it's described as collateral damage, or they're neutralised, or some other jumbo that would have, well, countries say, from Britain to Germany across the globe. But when a bomb falls, there are innocent people that are always killed. No sound. And soon the bomb won't fall. And soon the bomb will fall again. And soon the child will sleep. And soon the child will sleep again. And soon she will put her arms around her father, and soon she will lay him in the ground. And now the streams of agony from the child echo back. No sound! Thank you. Oh God. February of this year. So, I'm European, tanks roll into the Ukraine, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're going to push the Russians out. No, nothing. No, I've gone too far, sorry. That's right, okay. Wait. We'll go back. I've made a mistake, I've jumped wars. Go back, Lovey. Back. Okay. Sorry about that. Page turned over too quickly. Okay, so this is a different war. This is the anniversary of the First World War, the 100 years, in which men like this were sent to their slaughter across the Somme for no reason at all, and also to Gallipoli, which was an absolute disaster, terrible thing to do. Murder. Churchill murdered them people. If you go to the point where the British are buried, the Lancashire Regiment lost 1,000 people in a day because of what he did, because of what Churchill did, trying to invade this country. The only good thing to come out of this was Mustafa Kemal, who is not well known in this world, and he should be, because he is, in my viewpoint, one of the greatest leaders and inspirational figures I've ever known. But this goes for Turkish people, it goes for English people in the First World War. And I imagine a couple. The path becomes slower, the orders become louder, the constant din of shattering shells, the pots and pans being washed and put away by you. My mind becomes slower, the generals clearly don't know what to do. I have a bullet turning away from my friend's arm, as if I am holding you. My sleep has become numb. The path to the other side has become shorter, like the one I used to rush when I used to meet you. But now you hold a letter in your hand from me. But it's not from me. It just ends with the words, please hold him in eternity. Thank you. Okay, so we are now back to the hell zone. So it was basically February, and I'm a European, and it looked as if we had like 1939 on our doorsteps, and nothing seemed to be happening. The sirens are ringing out. Did I wake up to 1939? Bits of paper waved in the air as a bomb rips through a house. We'll hit them in their bank account, says Biden. But no statements can save a child's life. The sirens ringing out, wailing across a Kiev, a mother in Donetsk, a sister in Odessa, a cold chill running down her spine. It's hopeless, it's happening again. The sirens are ringing, and it's not 1939, it's now. And from the west, a big, fat cloud of nothing. Thank you. So it affected me. Maybe I'm European, maybe when you have where Turkey is situated, when you have situations with Azerbaijan or something, you know, it's not really on your doorstep. And I started to look around where I lived. I lived in the same sort of houses, types of houses that you get in places like Mariupol. And basically, I started to contact different people to see what was going on there, and became quite concerned about what was happening. And then I was devastated. Because that could be your streets. Look at it. You know? By a fate of God, that's not you. In the silence from Mariupol. The cars outside my window rumble to and from places without a care in the world. The children scream out Mehmet's name to come out to play, and when he does, their little faces, they light up. In Mariupol, there was just silence. A bird sarcastically chirps, a dog sniffs round, but there's nothing to eat. The rumble of tanks has gone, the screams have died down, rockets lighting up the sky have faded, leaving no one, just bullet holes ripped through a playground. Thank you. The last bit is true. The image of children's playground. And there is one bastard with blood on his hands. He killed them. But, you know, he will pay for this. And when he goes to hell, because he's certainly not going to heaven, he's not my fucking God. On Victory Day, knee-deep in blood, the arms and the limbs of the dead climb up you in day and night terrors, murdered by you, mothers, fathers, lovers, sisters, brothers, children and babies, all murdered by you. Your final solution, like the Jews in the ghetto. All must go. but on your deathbed, your God whispers, "Listen, Putin, I've had enough of you." And then you will see the Ukrainian flag flying high, and there's nothing you can do. Slava Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. Thank you. Are you enjoying it? Yeah. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, so when you stop telling the truth that's in your heart, the truth and you are already dead. They tried to kill Salman Rushdie. This is for Salman Rushdie. Bless you, my friend. There are no words, because words can lead to death. If I let my pen run freely, I will be the next, and you will be the next, until the door is closed and the audience has left. Thank you. Okay, I've just got 2 more poems to do. Very unsteady on my feet, unfortunately. I haven't been drinking, honestly. But before I do the 2 poems, I'll do a bit of thank yous. Thank you for saying for letting me do this today. And who did the poster? Who did my poster?
She's over there.
Where are you? Thank you very much. That was very nice of you. I would like you to thank my glamorous assistant, my wife. I've got a few cards here that my assistant will be given out later on. This is the book you can get. So this is it. This is basically you can get online. But mainly Mellor via YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Have I missed anything out? No. Didn't sleep well last night. Mosquitoes. Why do you have mosquitoes wearing jumpers in winter? I couldn't sleep all night. Do you have mosquitoes?
No.
Why? Sadistic. Okay, so we didn't sleep at all, did we? I had to go in the other room. That's a different story. Let's leave it behind. Okay, so.
Too personal.
Yeah, we'll leave that. Most of the time, I just don't want people to make the same mistake that I made in life, really. I just want you to be nice to yourselves and nice to other people. And don't be hard on yourself, because what you do in life, you might not know how much you touch someone. No life is right, no life is wrong, no life is left without a swan song. Somewhere along the lifeline, you woke someone up. You have made someone happy and not fed up. And although you let them eat you up inside, you were too young to realise that your life is not right, your life is not wrong, your life will be singing as it will at the Swan Song. Thank you. Just one more thing, I'll be doing a Q&A here if people want to ask any questions, as long as they're not rude, it's fair enough. We now come, wait for it, the most wanted criminal in Turkey. Why are you laughing?
Are you thinking about the same person?
No, turn up. That's my fault. I'm supposed to do a signal. Thank you. Okay, this is the most wanted person in Turkey, okay? It's true, isn't it? That's my cat, Jojo Rabbit. Why did I call him Jojo Rabbit? I like the film, although it's not a rabbit. So, that's weird. But basically, every Christmas, she declares war on our Christmas tree. Okay. The tall tree was put up, draped in tinsel, baubles and lights. Nice, my kitten appeared to purr with delight. In the evening, it stood glowing in the night, then woken with a crash. The tree's fallen! The baubles scattered all over the floor, the kitten running round and round with delight. Are they for me? Right. On the first night we thought how cute this was. But after the 15th day on Christmas Eve, I picked up the bloody Christmas tree again. So I picked the Christmas tree up again, threw tinsel and baubles and lights on it, laid presents up at the bottom of the tree on Christmas Day morning. We woke up to see the tree had fallen, the presents ripped open. Which one's for me? She looked up with a quizzical eye. This is for you, Jojo. A box full of balls, which pinged along the room all day, leaving the tree alone until we crept to bed, then heard the crash. The tree has fallen! Thank you very much for coming today. I really appreciate it. I'll sit down. Any questions?
David, thank you very much for this great performance. So